guys, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for one of our Patreon one-shots. We are in a familiar world of Glenbrook, but an unfamiliar GM. It's been, I feel like 2 years or more since you were in the GM seat for Glenbrook there, Iquin.
Don't remember.
Yeah,
Just under a year.
Some time ago.
Some
That
time
being
ago.
said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel just like these fine folks, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon, link in the description down below. And right now, there's a 7-day free trial for the $5 tier, which will get you access to all of our after shows for the last 3 years for the next 7 days. And when that 7 days is done, you can re-up and join us and have fun and support the channel and keep my lights on. And my child fed. And while you're down there, I'm having a time. It's been a week, guys. It's been a hell of a week. While you're down there, click on that Discord link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills with chips from you guys, Iquin will unleash horrible, terrible robots on us, probably. And two, every single dollar that goes into that tip jar goes back to this channel for things like hiring editors, artwork, doing cool things, buying new equipment, and other fun stuff like that. And with that, and without further ado, I turn things over to our illustrious storyteller. Iquin, please take us to the world of Glenbrook.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I will. So, instead of reading Mike's intro thing, because I completely forgot to bring it up on screen, I will instead say that I chose to play this today because I cannot literally kill Drathir in this game. So she's safe for once from GMing. And if you've watched before, you know how much I like killing my characters, or my players' characters. But today, we are kind of safe because we are in Glenbrook. The year is once again 1985, so I have rewound time from the last game because it suited my needs. So it is Friday night, 29th of November. And for those of you who keeps track, that is Black Friday for that year. It's been 4 weeks since a kid from your school, Billy Duncan, was lost. It was tragic, and you had a whole memorial in school and everything. The grown-ups have been paying way too much attention to all of you this last couple of weeks, and you're glad that things are finally calming down a bit. It's yet again easier to get away from grown-up supervision. I mean, it's been like super strict and such. Some house of some other kid you kind of barely remember, or maybe some of you kind of do. The house was destroyed. It was on the news, and it was like deserted. You don't know. You don't perhaps care that much. It's, you know, some random kid you know of him, but but now it's finally the weekend. And some of you might have been with your parents for Black Friday. Some of you might have not been, just been a long school week. And all of you have been tuckered down into bed. It's late at night and you've all drifted off to sleep. It's starting off as a normal dream. You're either flying around, you're setting that goal, your inventions work, you make the final sort of shop in your D&D campaign and becomes the hero. Whatever you kids dream of, that is the first thing that comes. And then it sort of transitions. It goes into a strange room filled with monitors and cables and electronic devices you don't comprehend the meaning or the function of them. It's in the middle of it, there's like a robot. Two of you notice it as Sam, the robot you met before, the glowing yellow eyes, the torso with just cables coming out of it in every each way. But something's different. He seems afraid, upset. He's moving around all over the room. And then you see two men coming in from the sides of the dream. Some like they walk just past you on both sides. The men seem to have overalls on them, looking like a working crew. What makes it really weird is that these men seems to notice Sam. And you remember, the two of you who were in the last game, that grown-ups don't seem to notice Sam or be able to notice Sam at all. But these two do. And as they move around, you see that both of them have weird-looking things in their ears. Looks like earplugs, but way more technological. You have some shiny blue lights coming out of them. And they seem to be fighting Sam. He wildly flaps around. All his cables are going everywhere, but the men hold him down, put some kind of manacle around the cables, and once they flip them on, they start to glow blue, and the cable just slumps down, useless. Sam puts up hell of a fight, but in the end, all his cables are being manacled and useless. As they're about to put a last manacle around his neck to turn it down, suddenly his yellow eyes look straight into yours, and you can hear all of you, one like at the same time, but Nora, come find me, help me, they're taking me to Corey, come find me, help me, they're taking me to Dee Dee, come find me, help me, they're taking me to Glenn, come find me, help me, they're taking me to. And as in all dreams, as you're the one dreaming, the voice kind of sounds like your own voice speaking to you, kind of shifted in with the Sam voice. But after that, the manacle is jolted around his neck, turns blue, and all of you immediately sit up, cold from sweat. You have this jolting feeling of being right awake, and you can all remember the dream. So let's go with the players who actually know of Sam first and see what they would like to do. You jolt up and it's in the middle of the night. You don't know what time it is, but it's pitch black. Well, let's go with Nora first.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Nora. Yeah, Nora sits up in bed and she's got a bunk bed, but she's on the bottom bunk and she's got like the sheets pulled up to make like a little tree house for herself and a fort. And she's got like fairy lights all around. She sits up and she's like, Sam's in trouble. The Bard of Hamlin has returned. And she throws back her covers and she pads in her PJs over to her closet and she starts like getting dressed, and she's going to pick up a little walkie-talkie, and she's gonna click it twice.
Yep. Let's move over to Corey. Sorry, Corey, you also jolt awake, remembering the interactions you had some time ago with Sam.
Corey is or was sat at a desk in his room facing the window, and he wakes up and peels one of the pages of his Dungeon Master's Guide from his face. There is a wrinkled, soft part where he drooled onto the book, for sure. His desk is scattered with blue gridded maps and a bunch of notebooks stacked in a pile of composition. He takes a canvas backpack and just sort of shoves everything off the table into the bag in the way that only a child would do, and immediately slumps the bag over his shoulder, and he says, quietly, but like a stage whisper, "The adventure begins again." And he throws open the window in front of his desk as he starts to crawl out of the window when he hears on a radio.
Excellent. We're going to move the camera once more, and I'm going to go with Glenn. You wake up, cold from sweat. A mysterious robot has appeared in your dreams. You are muted.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. So, I mean, Glenn is no stranger to vivid, kind of horrific dreams. Does he have one of the walkie-talkies?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So he sits up, blinks, shakes his head. Fine. And he slumps back into his bed. And it is only when he hears the click of the walkie-talkie that he gets out of, rolls over past the, he has two basically guardrails of pillows to keep him from rolling out of bed because he wakes up like this from dreams multiple times every night. And he kind of, rolls over, crawls over to Am I awake?
Who knows? We're going to move the camera once more. And now for Didi, you get woken up as well as the other. There's some shiny metal man that was in your dreams. And now you are somewhere. Where would Didi be?
Dee Dee is in her bed, which is let's see, it's like a wooden handmade bed that has been painted red by her pops, intended to look like a race car, you know. She's wearing like a onesie, maybe it'll be like a speed racer onesie. And she will pop out of her bed with energy as she does. And she's heard a call to adventure, and nothing's going to stop her from answering that call. So she'll run into her closet, pull her favorite pair of overalls out of the dirty clothes and pull those right over the onesie, and then grab like this terrible jacket, because it's pink, not red, over and grab a backpack and fling open the window. And she's out of the window like a bolt of lightning, and running around the corner of her house, and has pulled up to her bicycle, and she says, "Vroom."
So, Didi, could I persuade you to have a walkie-talkie in your backpack to make it easier for everyone that you hear going?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Then we have, so everyone can actually communicate, and it makes my life a lot easier. So, take it away, Nora. You the radio.
Yeah, and then after a few minutes, she hears, "Am I awake?" And she's like, "Yeah, Glenn, you're awake. I'm awake too. Everybody, we have to assemble.
Let's go."
What's going on?
We have a mission. I'm pretty sure.
There's an adventure.
Yes, Corey, you saw it too?
I did. I'm also here.
Sweet. We got to meet. Where are we going to meet?
The hideout.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Gee, you wanted to get to the hideout.
Okay. We'll
Race you there.
Oh no. And as she's talking, she's like shrugging into her clothes. She's got her overalls like pulled over, and she's putting on a jacket, and she's got her backpack with all her like clunks with all like this electronic sounding things inside. It's all clunky and pokey out the sides, and she shrugs it on. It's like, "Dee Dee, you always win. It's not fair.
Let's go."
Corey, he unclips something and rolls down what is clearly a questionably obtained like rope ladder from a treehouse down the street, and then down the side of the house as he begins to slowly descend into lands unknown for stories untold, as he begins to sprint towards the hideout, the aforementioned hideout.
Hardships unnumbered.
Yeah.
So
Glenn, you better be dressed already. Hurry up."
So yeah, Glenn has been pulling on a pair of sweatpants and his favorite black hoodie. Because his parents are used to him getting up and wandering around, and sometimes even getting up and going out for a walk in the middle of the night because of the dreams that he has. So he walks out. He kind of pops out of his room. The camera stays on the room for a couple seconds before we see the door open, the hand reach back into the dresser that's right by the door, and he grabs his Rubik's Cube.
Ooh.
And
So you're going to try to sneak through the house out? No?
No.
You're just going to walk through the house out?
Yeah, so like I said, my parents are used to this.
Yeah, okay. Right. I would say that you manage. Your parents do wake up, kind of, you hear these, drowsy, like, "Oh, it's your turn." And then the door opens and someone sort of looks after you, and it's like, he's fine. And he was like, closes the door again. So you're all making your way to the hideout then.
Yep.
Okay.
So Dee Dee, being obviously the faster that was already out of the house while everyone was getting dressed, you have some means of transportation. Are you going by bike, skateboard, rollerblades, just running?
Oh, definitely by bike. She has this fantastic red bike that her
Nice.
dad's helped to build from her from scratch.
Oh,
and
right.
it
Sorry, I think
is
you mentioned it.
that is the fastest bicycle on the block.
While you're pedaling it, I am trying to believe that. So you make it past and away, and I'm trying to remember exactly where I placed things, but I think I could say that on your way. Yeah, I think man, it was too long for me as well, but I think you could pass through the radio station when you're going there, or did I put it like outside of town? I don't remember. Anyhow, it's exactly where I need it to be right
On
now.
the bright side, you actually put a picture of it on the map in Roll20. It's right here.
I did. Oh, I did. Amazing. Oops. Oh, I did. I did do that. Good thing that I have people that remember what I do.
It's one of the few things you wrote on the map that I left there.
Oh, I wrote more things? Oh.
Yeah, you wrote like the number sequence in certain places and the 117.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think only Mike can see it.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. Mike is the only one who can see it because it's on the GM layer. Anyhow, yeah, the number sequence. I was hoping for someone to figure out what the number sequence was, but anyhow, that's not here nor there. Yeah, I put it right over there, and I'm going to say that Dee Dee, while you're bicycling from wherever you live to wherever the hideout is, you pass through the radio station. You see something very interesting. Very, very heavy tracks in soft snow. It's the kind of time of year when it's cold enough to sort of be, light powdery snow on the ground during the night. And there's really heavy, like, tire tracks that you haven't seen before. These are much, much wider and much, what do you say, thicker than normal. Like, the threading is larger than normal tires. As you notice these things, you get caught up by whoever was the next one out. I would say it might be Corey or Nora. And then Corey or Nora comes as in the third place. And just a little while under, Glenn also joins in because you all need to pass through this place to get to your hideout. And as you see Dee Dee already standing there, it's kind of a natural meeting point. And it's also outside the exact same radio station as you remember that Sam, the two of you who met Sam before, takes shelter in, like his secret base of operations are inside here.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the other kids arrive, Dee Dee says, "I win," even though this was not the original end of the race.
You were there first, hard to argue.
Well, exactly.
I imagine Dee Dee's been there for like 10 minutes just saying, I win, under her breath.
Yeah, Nora probably comes in third place here because
and I feel like last place is probably between Corey and Glenn, judging by how Glenn looks, not to stereotype, but Corey looks like he skips gym class and reads in the bleachers and gets yelled at for it. He ran. So he's panting and wheezing and out of breath and the sweatiest he's been in a long time. In what is it, November? You said, yeah. So it's freezing.
Glenn does have a bike that he rode there, but as Mike insinuated, Glenn is not the most physical person in the world. So he probably got there in it was probably about a tie actually between Corey and Glenn.
Yeah, and then Nora will pull up. What? Oh, we're meeting here, not the plane?
Hey, adventure. It's a foot.
It's the tracks. Don't you see the tracks?
And she stops and she looks. Oh yeah. Those look like trucks, like a truck track, not a car. And she motions. This is where Sam lives.
Sam.
Okay, listen up. And I had a weird dream. Hi, Corey. You okay?
I ran here.
Where's your bike?
You got. Just do a recap of the previous session. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, there's a robot. He's like invisible almost, because he's trying to hide, and he was making all the adults like act funny. Like they tried to make us go to like this really happy fun time where we had to do stupid math problems. Math is dumb. Actually, no, Nora wouldn't say that. Math is not dumb. Nora loves math. These really
Glenn
awesome
and Didi,
math
you would
problems.
remember this day happening a couple of months ago. All the adults were acting super weird that day, and then they suddenly weren't and didn't remember anything.
I remember, and there's like some kind of signal that was coming from here that Sam was projecting to like hide himself, and then we made a deal with him to let all the adults out of his magical spell, and he put his spell just on just on the radio place here, so no one could find him and he'd be safe. But I just had a dream that he was calling for help, and there was these two guys who could see through his invisibility, and they were attacking him.
They had a magical helmet of attunement.
You think so?
Yeah, it was on the ear. It was like a circlet.
Yeah,
it was a circlet of mana attunement, I think, or a lesser sea invisibility spell.
Right.
Wait, so that wasn't just my dream?
No, we all had the same dream.
Oh God, you're catching my dreams. I'm so sorry.
What? No, I don't think so. It's okay. It's okay, Glenn. And she pats him on the shoulder.
Okay, thank you.
Sam's our friend. Yeah, okay. Sam's our friend, so it's good that we shared this dream because we have to help him.
Okay.
Didi has long lost interest. There's too much talking, and she's already following the track of the.
So Didi, as you are the most excellent at spotting random things that no one else pays attention to, please roll me an investigate.
Wow. She's not that great at spotting things.
No, it's dark.
I mean, sometimes you do. Yeah, you see those tracks. They are going away. And for anyone who is somewhat in the know of how this works, you can tell that there wasn't snow when you went to bed. There is now, and there are tracks and footprints leading in and out of the radio station. Man, it's hard sometimes. So you can, like, every one of you that just spends like 5 seconds thinking through it can conclude that these tracks are newly made during the night, since they had to be in this kind of snow. Didi is off following the tracks, and let's all roll an investigation. Since you were standing here talking for a while, see if anyone picks up on it. Okay, yep. So 1 success. Anyone else who wants to can also roll. Like,
sorry, investigation.
Investigation. Like you're standing. Oh, nice. So maybe Nora paid more attention to Didi. Didi paid attention to the tracks, and the other two, Glenn and Corey, you do pick up on the fact that there are a lot of tracks leading back and forward, and then you have the really large tracks going from like the street away, and it goes sort of like the street continues away, and it goes like you would go out of town that way, that street. But you also find a very interesting little piece of technology lying like in the doorstep. It's kind of in the corner, hard to see in the shadows. But what picks it up for you is that it suddenly sort of blinks in a little blue light, and it's ever so faint, but both of your eyes sort of goes over it, and you see it's kind of looks like the thing that the men had in their ears from your dream. But it's not a steady light anymore. Now it just blinks like once every 20 seconds. That's why it's so hard to pick up on.
Corey will walk over to it, and like sort of like dig it out of like wherever it's embedded in the snow, and he holds it up, and he says, "The most keen-eyed adventurers find the treasure, and he like holds it out to anyone who wants to see, and like the blinking blue light is there.
So as he turns around, he sees that Len has come up right behind him, like completely unnoticed. So he's okay. What is it?
As he holds it out, Glenn, you can read on it. It actually has like a little note on it set on. It says audio wavelength distorter prototype.
Audio wavelength?
Audio wavelength distorter prototype.
Hey, so I have some skill in tech. Can I roll like a calculate to see if I can figure out more about what it would do?
I would say it's more of a program or a tinker to figure out what it does.
I'll roll tinker then.
Can I also roll, since that's my jam?
Yeah, sure.
That's
go ahead.
That's also Dee Dee's jam.
Wow.
If you wanna come back, Dee Dee, from being distracted by the tracks, I'll let you.
She's too distracted.
As soon as I can't figure out what it is, I would actually call over to Nora, because I know that she's good with this kind of thing.
She's standing right there when you call her.
I mean, you can, just as a reminder, you can use luck and pushing and such if you would like to. Just so everyone remembers that.
Yeah, so Nora,
I actually have luck in this campaign.
audio wavelength distorter. This is
Nora,
probably how.
You figure out from looking at it, you see that this device goes into your ear, and it has like a speaker, like those Walkmans you put on, but this one goes inside your ear. It has like a rubber seal, so outside noise will get sealed out. And then there's some kind of like technology with this, and you see what looks like a hole for a microphone coming in. With the 2 successes, you can conclude that this thing takes in outside audio without, like, it parses it through the technology, and then it plays it for the person listening while keeping the raw audio outside.
Yes.
So it's exactly what it says. It's an audio wavelength distorter.
That's exactly what Nora says.
Yep.
And just to clarify, these types of earbuds don't exist in the 80s yet, correct?
No,
Like,
not
just
that
normally?
I know of. Just the normal, like, put pads outside on your ears. Like, these ones are weird and way much more high tech than you would have ever seen.
Yeah, so she remembers from her dreams seeing it in these men's ears. So she's like, wow, I've never seen anything like this. And she puts it in.
I saw it in the dream.
Yeah. It's like it's canceling, like I can't hear anything out of this ear. Wow, that's so cool. And does she hear a tone?
When you put it in and listen to it, do you like flip? There are some buttons on it. Do you try to press any of them?
Probably not on purpose, but she's like fiddling with it to get it like in her ear.
Yeah.
So she might press something by accident.
You press a button, either it's just designed to do this, or you press a button and it sort of tunes into the radio station. You hear that usual like 93.7 WJVK, the Glens. And then it comes up. Our friends at the Loop facility, this request comes from the audio tech guys in Facility A, and it starts to play some song.
Facility A, the Loop?
That's what it says.
Are you getting
she says this really loud because she's got the earbud in her ear.
Are you getting secret messages?
Yeah, there was like something from the Glens, and then something about a message from Facility A at the Loop. Is that right, Eichlin?
Yeah, the message said, let me see if I find it again. Message comes out, it sort of begins in the middle. Our friends at the Loop facility, this request comes from the audio tech guys in Facility A, and then it starts to play a song. Let's say it was Wild at Heart song? I don't know. I don't remember. Take any good 80s song comes on.
My theme song. Yeah.
Sure thing. Your theme song. Oddly
Yeah,
enough, it's Nora's theme song.
the audio tech guys from Facility A at the Loop, and now Huey Lewis in the News is playing. But she's talking really loud.
Should we go to the loop? I'll race you there.
Oh, I don't
Wait.
think we can get in the loop. That's
Yeah, we can't get in the
very
loop.
illegal.
Yeah, and they have like tall fences.
Illegal.
Yeah, they and like razor wire and guard dogs, and
That's why you go underneath.
I think they have like
Wow.
I heard a rumor that they have like underground sensors that they can tell, like even if like a groundhog digs in there, and like laser grids probably. Yeah,
Probably lasers.
probably lasers. That's what I mean. If I were to have a secret underground lair, I would have lasers.
Well, do we want to follow these tracks somewhere?
So
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Glenn at this point has walked up beside Corey, and he's actually tugging Corey on the shoulder, on the shoulder of his shirt.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Did Facility A have anything to do with Sam last time? I missed that session.
No, I don't think so. I think Sam was just his own thing. He was just attached to a bunch of wires, and he just wanted to be left alone. But he was doing too much about it.
Yeah, he was like a huge supercomputer. Like
Yeah.
he had like so much processing power. It was like
Yeah, and
it was
he had-
crazy.
I don't remember, but I think he didn't have any feet. So
No.
And
So-
and he was in here, and he points to the radio station.
yeah. He like hooked himself up to all the wires, and he had full control, like a super wizard. He had full control over the entire radio station, and he could send out anything over the wire.
Do we
Yeah.
know if he's still there?
We should check, double
Oh,
check.
yeah.
Maybe he left a clue behind because he called for us for help. Maybe he left a message.
That's true.
Didi,
Maybe.
wanna go inside?
Sorry, what'd you say?
You want to go inside?
Yeah, let's
Look for
go.
clues?
Sure. Why not?
And I think, and she takes the earbud. I think this is what's allow those guys to see through his magic spell. Like you guys were talking, but I couldn't hear anything out of this ear. Like this is pretty cool, you know. So like this is probably blocking the frequency that he was using for his spell. You know.
Dee Dee's testing the windows.
Who are you?
See if they open.
As you go around testing the windows, you, Didi, notice that the most easy and obvious thing is that the door is not actually locked.
She opens it up.
Yep, it just opens up. It's one of those, self-closing doors. It's a bit heavy, but you can get it open.
Hey.
Inside, it's dark.
You
and
follow her.
from the street lights, light that shines in, and from the light through the windows that shines in from the street lights, you do see that there are like wet footprints from boots, like those typical boot prints that you get on the floor going in and back out. And for those two of you who've been here before, you remember that you need to sort of walk through like a corridor coming through, and Sam used to be like in the back end of the radio station hiding out. What you see now when you open up, it's that it's still kind of cabley, but last time you were here, there was like, cables and stuff everywhere. It's now more orderly and sorted and tucked away, so it's not as much in the way of the grown-ups. And you figure that that's probably how it keeps being hidden, that nobody sort of walks into cables they can't see. Like everything is more like tucked away and fixed somehow. But yeah, do you all want to follow Didi in? I just presume that Didi is full throttle going.
Yeah.
Wait, Didi, I think they know better where we need to go.
Keep going. We're following.
You coming in to this. Okay. There are some things that it's very dark, but there are some lights. You have that emergency exit signs. I think we're still a thing back in the 80s that they still have. Already had them there. So those are lit. There are some light coming in from windows here on the side of the building from the street lights, casting long shadows in here. You don't hear anything. You know that airly silent where you only hear the air conditioning going, that little hum. That's the only sound from in here. You sneak more into the corridors, following the cables. A lot of the monitors and computer parts that were here before have now been removed or moved somewhere else, but they're not in the corridor as they were last time. The footprints continue to move inside, and you come over to the room where Sam used to be. And this room is a bit different than you remember it. It's also more cleaned up to keep things out of the way, but it's still full on with just technical equipment that is incomprehensible. Man, my English. To all of you, even you, Nora, have a hard time following what some of these machines are meant to do. There's but as you remembered it, there was a lot of blinking lights, a lot of screens showing different things, cables coming everywhere, connecting into Sam. What you meet now is a room that is way much more dead. All the monitors are shut off. You have those little, lights, like the diodes that just shows that they are powered but not on, like red diodes everywhere. But the monitor itself is shut off. All the cables are still in the room, going to as if they were a middle point. But you can all see that the manacles that you saw in your dreams are all shining blue, still attached to all the cables. And the cables are just sort of hanging where they were attached into machinery or the ceiling or some other part of the room. And from their attachment point, they're just limp hanging down. And the manacle sits at the end of them, shining blue, being some kind of disruption device. There are some machines that are still on that sort of hums and blinks, but I would say anyone who has anything in either Tinker or Program can easily deduce that these are probably not SAM machines, but rather the actual radio station devices. They are much more low tech, and the only things that are still on. So you would think that these are what the radio station uses and the things that the grown-ups can see in here. And perhaps that's how also Sam managed to sneak a message out through not his machines that was turned off.
Right, Quinn. So I think that Dee Dee didn't walk down that hallway. She ran down the hallway. And
Sure.
as soon as she enters the room with all of the radio equipment, she begins to go around the room, flicking switches and pushing buttons.
Right. A lot of machines turn on. Some machines turn off. Anyone else want to do something?
Yeah,
I'll get back to exactly what happens. Just see if anyone else wants to do something at the same time.
I think Nora just kind of stands in the middle of the room and looks around. And before, when Sam was here, everything was alive with technology. And like you said, she didn't know what everything was doing, but the only thing she knew was that it was doing a lot of it, right? The amount of information he was processing was pretty much unfathomable to her, right? So, but now it just it looks dead, and everything is just shut off, and she kind of looks sad, what happened to Sam?
Glenn's going to go and investigate the manacles, see if there are signs of a struggle or if they seem damaged in any way, or because he remembers the manacles going onto Sam from the dream, but obviously they're not there anymore. So he's trying to figure out the manner in which that transition happened.
Okay. Corey, you want to do something?
Yeah, he's looking around the room. You see the wet footprints. He's basically following those around, following some certain cables, kind of playing backup to Nora almost, looking for what he remembers from months ago was here versus what is here now.
Okay. I would say then, Glenn, you roll an investigation to investigate the manacles. Corey and Nora can do so as well, to just look around, while Dee Dee, I want a program or a tinker from you while you're interfacing with the machines.
1 success.
Oh, nice.
Plans to the Death Star.
Can I maybe
That's
roll
really
a
good.
program to see if Sam left any clues behind purposefully?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll go for that.
No.
So let's see. Glenn succeeds. Didi succeeds. Corey, no. And Nora, no. Fine. We will begin with Didi. I was going to give you something, but if you didn't succeed, you would also fry a machine. So luckily, you don't fry any of Sam's machines. Flicking on and off a lot of things, you manage to get one of the terminals to come back alive. So one monitor sort of lights up suddenly, and you get that very like green text on black background where it has like an input prompt. It's the $ and then the larger than sign, denoting that you can input text here. Looking around while you're flipping machines, there are actually a keyboard, like underneath some cables, in like a corner. Being you flipped on everything, you find it. It's one of those beige white ones with the twisted cords that goes somewhere in this mess. And I will let you interface it with as soon as I get done with the other ones. So, Glenn, the manacles you see, they don't seem to be damaged in such a way. From your dream, you remember that it was a struggle, and the footprints around here does show like people moving a lot. There's like a lot of footprints from the wetness that they dragged in the snow. They seem to still be operational. They glow blue, and they're attached to the cables. And from what you can tell, I mean, some of them might have some like dirt or some little scratch on them, telling that, yeah, there was probably some kind of like trouble or fight happening here. But there is no way like severely damaged or such. Whoever did this knew what they were doing. You could get that there was some skill. Like the guys here, they were like professional muscles. They knew how to restrain someone or something.
And I spent a luck to reroll.
Okay. Sorry, remind me, what exactly did you try to do? You tried to...
I'm using a program to find out if Sam left us any clues or messages. And so she would walk over to where his main computer, like where his body sat, and like she might type on a keyboard and see if she can bring anything up.
Well, let's do it like this then, because Didi managed to figure out how to turn on a console by just flipping a lot of switches, finding you a keyboard. You
experimenting
with the aid of Didi, you start to type in like commands you gathered from newspapers and magazines, and you manage to, after some tinkering and like clicking around inside the operating system, find a file. The file is named like myparty.txt, and once you figure out how to open the file and read inside of it, the file says pretty much the same thing as in the dream, except it doesn't call out for your names. It just says, "Come find me, help me. They're taking me to facility A."
Guys, look. And she gets everyone over, and they're all huddled over. It's like, they're taking me to facility A.
I told you we needed to go to the loop.
Yeah, but okay, but how are we just can't walk in the front door, and I don't have any digging machines that work.
Let's not worry about it. Let's just get there and we'll figure it out.
Well, it's going to be full of traps.
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing something about a couple of older kids that like used a sweatshirt to climb over the barbed wire at the top of the fence. And he kind of...
That sounds ridiculous. That would never work.
I don't think razor wire works like that.
Okay, then I guess I dreamed it then.
We'll just have to run fast over the mines so that they explode when we're behind, when we're way ahead of them, you know?
Whoa. Yeah.
I've heard weirder.
Let's go.
That works in the movie sometimes. She shrugs.
Okay. Think about it this way, right? Okay, what if we were if I was playing this and you were players and we were going down a dungeon, you would want like a 10-foot pole for sure, so we could find like maybe like a broom handle or like a mop, and then you want like a big bag of like steel ball bearings. You want to get those. So if we don't have that, we could do rocks, nice rocks, or marbles, or Does someone have like jacks? Those could be caltrops. Okay. Weapons. We need weapons. We need 50 foot of rope for sure. I don't know what for yet, but we need that. And
Use cables. We could use the cables.
perfect. And a lantern. And holy
While
water?
he's talking, Dee Dee's grabbing whatever she can grab out of the room, and then she's like running out of it.
Well, you do find that there are at least 50 foot of cable in the room that you can easily disassemble and just pull down as an energetic child you are. So you have 50 foot of like cabling. There's like, you grab one of
Shoved in
those
the backpack.
bundles. Yeah, you have one of those bundles. It's like an inch thick, multiple cables bundled together. You just like, and it's about 50 feet. You don't know.
Glenn is going to grab, see if he can disconnect a couple of the manacles, and then look around for something that could be used as a lantern, because he can cast light.
Okay. Yeah. I would need a tinker with 2 successes to get the manacles off the cabling.
Oh boy.
These are high-tech manacles made for a purpose, not to come off.
Oh,
Okay.
Damn.
You look around the room, you find that there are like some like small screwdrivers, some tech equipment. I mean, it's a radio station. They have technology in here that they need to maintain. Using those things, you skillfully try to look like, there's a little gap here. And if I put the screwdriver here, and if I flip it like this, and you manage to get the manacle, it doesn't open, but you manage to get it to slide off the end of the connector of the cabling itself. So you now have a connected manacle that is still operational. It's glowing blue, and it's, you can't open it. So it's a circle and connected, but you do have it. It's fully functional, and as long as you put it on something, you presume that it might shut that something off.
So he turns around, and Dee Dee's already gone, but he looks at Corey and Nora and very triumphantly holds it up. Like,
Oh, great! And you found these tools. And he points to the tiny screwdriver set.
oh yeah.
I have a multi-tool.
Great. I think
Yeah.
that's everything we could possibly need, I guess.
Did I find anything that can be used as a lantern or a flashlight or anything?
Oh yeah, let's say it's a flashlight lying around. I mean, there's a radio station. They probably need it to look through equipment. So
Like a headlamp or something.
And Corey grabs a mop out of a bucket, like there's like a janitor closet, like a custodial closet. He just grabs the mop and starts unscrewing the handle for the 10-foot pole.
Sure thing. You get the 10-foot pole. Yeah, I like that idea from G. It's a headlamp, so it's one of those you put on your like around, and it shines a light so you can see what you're doing, hands free. It's not super bright, but I mean it's a headlight. It's enough. You got the manacle. GD has run off with 50 foot of cable somewhere.
Just looped around the handlebars 100 times.
Yep.
Perfect.
Anything else you want to accomplish here before you leave?
Is this thing find Dee Dee?
Yeah, we need our caltrops. So we're just gonna use rocks. I don't think we can find marbles or anything like that.
He's just he's naming things off of an adventure list. What every adventure should take and bring into a dungeon.
Iquin, is there a convenient box of nails or screws?
Ooh.
For something that convenient, I would think I need an investigate once more. Anyone who wants to find one can roll me an investigate.
Yep.
Okay, yep, there's definitely a box of nails lying around, because who doesn't need to nail stuff?
Corey,
Electronics.
Would this work?
Yeah. We can throw that on the floor, and if it hits anything, it'll explode, like Dee Dee said, and then it can also get in people's shoes and slow them down. So that's great.
The box says the box seems unopened, and it says 100 nails, about like 2 inches long nails.
I don't want to explode.
Yeah, I don't want to explode
That's
either.
what the
That
nails are
sounds
for.
terrifying. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think
We should find Dee Dee.
Yeah, I agree.
So Dee Dee, where are you?
She's outside of the radio station. She has had a moment, so she's actually pulled her goggles out of her backpack, and she has pulled her goggles over her eyes, and she's now doing figure eights and circles on her bike, and she's calling out to her friends.
We come rushing out with all of our gear. Okay, we got everything. Let's go. But
Can
okay.
someone take something? I need a
Yeah,
head to ride my bike. Thank you.
Yeah, she puts it. She has a backpack.
Okay.
Glenn
did not think that far ahead.
You managed to redistribute all your adventuring party gear, and you're off on the bikes. So Didi, I would presume, is leading this charge. What are you actually doing, Didi? Are you following the tracks? Are you going somewhere else? What's the plan here?
Okay, she would know where the loop is, I think, and she believes that is their destination. So if the tracks are headed off in the loop direction, then that is definitely what she would do.
In the beginning, from where you are right now, it looks like the tracks are heading like out of town towards like roughly the loop. You know, the roads doesn't go there straight away. You have to, like, as a vehicle, follow roads. But as far as Didi would know, it seems plausible that these tracks are leading to the loop.
Then she's definitely following it at a breakneck speed, at occasionally like taking air, you know?
Yep. I need everyone else to roll me a move to keep up with Didi.
Okay, sorry. Is Glenn and Corey on foot?
Glenn's on his bike.
Okay, so Corey can like jump on our handlebars or whatever.
Great.
Okay.
Then I definitely need Nora and Corey to make me a move to keep up with the rest, and Glenn to make me a move to keep up with Didi.
Woo.
You keep up?
No.
I will count Corey into Nora's success of fixing that. Somehow, Glenn has the most trouble keeping up. So Didi, you're a good 100 yards before everyone else, and the other ones are kind of struggling to keep up. Corey is riding Nora's bike, so they are two, but Nora seems to have that under control, and Glenn comes like few feet behind, struggling to keep up. It's up to you if you want to wait in the rest or do something else.
Come on, Glenn.
Coming.
Is there lots of snow in Rhode Island?
It's not a lot of snow. It's kind of like, you know, it's like powdery and an inch at most thick. It's like new, and it will probably be gone by midday tomorrow. It's not like super thick.
I don't like hills. When he gets to the top of the hill, he stops and takes out his inhaler.
Nora will slow down and wait for him, so we're not like leaving him in the dust.
Okay, so I just Didi, you just gonna go? I guess.
Yeah, no, Didi wants to win.
Yeah,
when she gets there, she says, "I win."
Yep. So
there's no one there to hear.
It takes fair amount of while to follow the tracks. They go out of town. They go off the main road into a little dirt road. I mean, the snow is not thick. It's like you can still see patches of the road, and you can see patches of like the dirt road you go out on. So you see how the road transitions from paved road into dirt road, and the track sort of wears off there. At times they sort of disappear, but you just like there is no other road to go on. So just following straight on, you pick them up again when there's more snow, and you at a breakneck speed manage to cycle about 20, almost 30 minutes out of town. And since Didi is gone, the rest of you is kind of forced to just go with her or abandon her at this point. And you come to a place where you're like, you go into the woods, and you know that this is not where the main loop is, but it's like loop adjacent territory in these woods parts. And the tracks continue in, and you go in, and about 5 minutes of cycling through a wooded landscape where you have trees on both sides. You come sort of up on a little hill. It's big. It's not a big hill. It's just big enough for you as a short person not to see over it. But when you crescent it, on the other side, maybe 200-300 feet away, you see what looks like a really weird van. It's parked. Looks like one of those white ordinary vans, but it's set on like giant wheels, and it's also dragging a trailer behind it. I don't know what you call those trailers that only has two wheels, but it's one of those that sort of it needs to be hooked up because it can't run on its own. And both are white. The trailer looks kind of to Didi like a generator on wheels. It has this, boxy look, and it has like vents on all sides, but it also doesn't really look like it. It's not like any sort of generator you've ever seen. And it's sort of parked, and next to, you see a little path goes up to what looks like a really rugged cottage, or a shack might be a better word for it. It looks completely made out of wood, and it's like old, and you get the feeling it's barely standing at all from looking at the distance over to it. And at this point is probably where the rest of you keep up, when Didi has gotten the first sort of impression of this. It's still a fair bit away, but it's, it's something new. It's something enough to sort of stop and take in. Like, this is where the tracks were heading. It's very much like you can see that the wheels match the tracks very well.
Didi will pull out Didi will pull out the walkie-talkie and say, "I found the fortress."
You all hear this on your walkie-talkies.
Well, Corey will talk as she's cycling.
Yeah, Corey pulls out the walkie-talkie and he says, "You have to wait for us. You can't go in alone. There's traps. There must be traps everywhere, and monsters and lair actions. You have to wait."
And then we come over the hill.
So Glenn actually responds, but doesn't think to pull the walkie-talkie out first, because at this point, this is probably a dream, so she's going to hear him anyway. I'm on my way. Please wait.
We'll wait for you.
Glenn, we're going to need your hoodie.
Okay. Now, none of you can hear what he's saying because he's literally just talking into the air.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm coming.
She looks over her shoulder. She looks over her shoulder. She can still see him, so she knows that he hasn't died.
Yeah, you see the little, because he actually has the headlamp on.
Oh, right.
So you see it kind of bobbing up and down.
And then we finally make it to Didi's side.
You finally make it up to there. The vantage point you have is sort of straight behind the truck, so it's parked, and you can see like the back doors and the trailer parked behind it. You also see the cabin. Now when you're all here, something that you also pick up on now when you have a little bit of light from the headlight, it doesn't do a lot at this distance, but it's enough to see that there seems something like gleaming, lying in the snow against a very dark backdrop, and focusing on it as Glenn's headlight bursts through when he comes up the hill. You notice that they are like thick. We're talking like thick cable, bunches of cables going from the side of the trailer in through the door into the shack, and the door is slightly ajar. The door is though like ajar at the other end, so you can't look into the cabin. You have to be on the literal other side of the cabin to be able to peek inside, giving you the opportunity that whoever that might be inside there can't see you either, because there are no windows facing your direction. The shack is very weirdly windowless from your point of view.
Mm-hmm. Those cables could be powering Sam. They're trying to steal his secrets. We gotta be very careful.
Is there anyone in the car? In the van?
You don't know. It's dark, and you only have the small little headlights to give you lights.
Okay.
Anyone's guess. And the car is parked, the windows are only on the front part of the car. The back side is covered as a utility vehicle usually are. So since the car is parked away from you, you have no idea if someone is in the vehicle or not.
And how far are we away from the car?
About 300 feet.
300 feet? Oh shit. Okay.
Guys, listen. Okay. When entering a dungeon, there's always going to be at least 2d6 patrols outside. So you have to take into consideration that. Maybe the van, maybe just wandering around. And I know it's not the same thing, but if there's an outhouse, the outhouse is always a trap. And he points to the trailer. Okay, so we don't want to run inside and then have the patrols come back and then we're caught between two different groups of monsters. So we have I think we should go check out the van.
We should be fast.
Yeah. So not not Glenn.
Oh, okay.
We'll go on foot though, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
So sorry. Glenn, you're the lookout. You be the lookout. You just fade into the shadows and be the lookout and turn that off.
He's literally standing there like this.
Yeah.
With it, holding, literally like pulling his hood tight with the crossed arms.
The best part is it's like we're in a field. Like there's nothing you're hidden by, you're out.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, you're in the woods, so you could
Yeah.
literally hide behind a tree, but yeah, the whole hand thing, yeah, you can all see him pretty clearly.
I love that.
and when it's safe, Glenn will wave you forward, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
And she pats him on the shoulder. Okay, let's go. And she's gonna.
Everyone roll me stealth. The ones who are sneaking, you roll me stealth for sneaking, and Glenn, please roll me stealth to see if you blend into the shadows.
He's clearly one with the shadows.
Yes.
Glenn. Oh my god, that's.
Glenn is so pasty white he blends in with the snow.
Is he the only one that blends in? Nora failed. Corey fails.
And
I don't think Dee
Dee
did
doesn't
you even
sneak.
bother?
No, she runs. So I'm
Dee
gonna
Dee-
roll a move.
Dee Dee is the party's barbarian. She rushes in and kicks the door down.
Makes total sense.
I'm gonna
So
look and then move again.
All of you, except Dee Dee, who just sprints forward, Dee Dee sprints forward, being small and nimble. She's gone before the other two of you have even started to think about moving. You have trouble being sneaky to try to catch up to Dee Dee at all, and it's more like it's kind of like the one, really serious sprinter than the two other ones like bumbling after her.
Or running in circles like.
You're kind of like a bit worried about Glenn, and looking back, he is gone. There's no trace of him. He is like one with the shadows. You have no idea where he went.
As he goes like this, he's just like.
Yeah, he's just like, he just disappears, and you're like, damn, that's actually cool. Glenn is completely out of sight from all of you. You have absolutely no idea if he's still in the spot, or if he's moved, or if he's behind a tree. He might be right behind you for all you know.
Oh, can I say that I took the headlight as like, we'll call you, and then with the headlight?
Sure. That's a very possible thing for you to do.
So as you're sneaking away, Glenn's, and he doesn't say anything, but he kind of pitifully holds up the walkie-talkie. And none of you see it. Okay, puts it back.
When you're too good at what you do.
Yeah.
Dee Dee, you obviously win. You make it to the trailer first, way before anyone else. The other two come sort of running a bit slippery behind you, like less motion controlled, definitely not as stealthy as they wish they were. And you make it up to the trailer. What do you guys want to do? You're like, I presume that you put the trailer between you and the shack, at least, or you can do whatever you want. Yeah, but you're on the side of the trailer. They are the cables are on the opposite side, moving like into the shack. This side is mostly just a white side, and there are some like pretty thick air vents, the ones that are like slits, and then there are some like protection so they can't rain inside. But you can definitely look inside there if you would like. It's still hitched to the van. The van is parked right there on the in front of the trailer. And now from your new vantage point, the three of you who went up to there, you can see that the van has branding on the side, and it says New England Positronics on it.
NEP. Okay, and the generator is running.
When you come closer to it, it has a weird hum to it. It's kind of like a
And just to clarify, we saw an NEP truck outside the Radio Shack last time. Well, the Radio Shack, sorry, outside
The radio station.
The radio station last
as
time.
long as I'm not the only one doing it, I'm happy. Yeah, there was a New England Positronics truck outside the radio station the last time you were there.
Okay.
And
is this the same truck or similar make?
This is not the same truck. The truck you saw there was a normal truck with normal tires. This is like someone has taken a van and then modified it to be a train moving van. It has much larger and more like thicker tires, like absurdly so. This is like someone. This would catch someone's eye out on town if they drove that through town.
And it is running and generating.
Every time you hear the humming come to its peak and be like, it also you see a blue glow coming from the vents, like flashing and then dimming down again.
Is anyone in the van, like in the driver's seat?
You go up, carefully looking in, and it doesn't look like anyone's inside the van. It seems to be, it's just dark, and looking through like the windshield, you can see right through it without seeing any person whatsoever inside. It's the van itself is shut off.
Okay.
Are there any like what do you call it? Keypads or like some kind of interface terminal on the trailer?
Not that you can see. It seems to be like encapsulated, and you need to open like the outside chassis doors is a bad word, but the walls screw off, and you need to sort of remove them to get to what's inside. They're like a protection walls and seating.
So like this isn't a typical like a portable generator that we would see like at a carnival or something like that. That's like
no.
Shit.
None of you have ever seen anything like this, and the hum is also very not. You've heard electrical hums. This is way different than an electrical hum.
Same with like that blue glowing light. Like that's really weird.
Generators usually don't flash blue in a like distinct pattern like this one does.
Is there any change inside the house when the blue light flashes? Like, is there any correlating light that happens?
You don't see any windows, and the only thing you can have from there is that the door is ajar. There are some light coming out of it. It's dim, and every time there is like the light from inside is not yellow. The light from inside is also blue. Okay. And you don't see that it shifts in any way when the pulse comes and the generator flashes. It's more of a steady, very dim blue light. Just a bit of it escaping out through the door where the cabling is coming in. To see more inside, you know that you need to get closer up to the shack. There's no windows to look through, and the door it's like the cables are thick and such, but the door stands so as close as it can be. They move the cables to be able to close it as much as possible because it's cold outside. I mean, you don't want to leave the door wide open. Yeah. So you need to move into a more advantageous position to be able to see inside.
And should I contact Glenn? Tell him it's good to come forward.
Well, okay. So, but what's the plan?
I don't know, but this is really weird. This is not like an electrical generator. Like, look at that blue light, and you hear that pulse. That's weird. Yeah.
We should get Glenn over here.
Okay, and she's gonna go in the direction that they came from. And she's using Morse code to say, "Glenn, come here."
Glenn does not know from Morse code, so.
But Glenn, you notice from your side, you hear a clicking, and then suddenly it goes quiet, and then it starts to click a bit again, and then suddenly it goes quiet.
What clicks?
The walkie-talkie.
Okay.
Squelch on the
when she clicks it.
Okay.
So it's sort of like it's sending clicks, and then it dies for like a second, and then it's sending clicks again, and then it dies for a second, and it repeats in a like pattern. Every so many seconds, it just stops clicking for a second or two, and then it continues.
So during one of the pauses, I will quickly hit the top. Hello?
no one over at the trailer hears anything while he tries to transmit in the pulse. And then suddenly, like the last part of it comes back as you hear the hum goes, hello.
Glenn?
You have the same kind of static thing. It goes, and right as it goes that boom, they have 1 second of cutout in your conversation in the walkie-talkies.
Oh, wait, I have an idea. And Corey reaches into unslings his canvas bag, pulls it out, rummages through crumbled paper, and pulls out a tiny cobbled together like copper, aluminum, and steel dragon. And he just clicks it on, and a little poof of fire comes out of its mouth, and he clicks it off and clicks it on, he clicks it off, and then clicks on and waves it around, and then clicks it off.
That works. Yep, that works.
To try to wave in the general direction of Glenn.
Okay. Glenn is a smart kid. He will interpret that as the signal to join the rest of the group, and he will do so.
Nora's just like, he used my invention. It still works. And she's gonna look around to see what Dee Dee's up to.
Turns out Nora has a crush on anyone who uses her inventions.
Yes.
While Corey has been pulling out the invention and Nora has been doing Morse code, Dee Dee has just been raising her hands and waving like this in the air.
She is New England semaphore. Trying to signal him with the flags.
Glenn trots up like a loyal puppy.
Right. As you close up to this trailer, Glenn, you also hear the humming that comes like.
Glenn,
and
look at this.
You see the blue flashes that comes every time you hear that. The sort of flashes blue.
Okay. Do I still also hear the clicking in my walkie-talkie?
No, that was like Nora click when she was clicking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey Nora, what does the earphone do here?
Oh, good one. And she's gonna fumble it, and she's gonna look at it, and she's gonna press a button. She doesn't know what, and she's gonna put it in her ear.
The button you press seems to be the mute button because you hear nothing on that ear, but it's consecutively, like consequently nothing. Even through the pulses, it still seems to function because you are completely deaf on that ear right now.
Okay, then she's gonna press a different button. I don't hear anything.
When you press the next button, suddenly you hear the surrounding, but it's a bit distorted. All your friends sound like them, but it's slightly too pitched.
Okay, it's like you guys are all talking with a filter on. Like you guys all have like chipmunk voices almost.
You should keep it in.
Yeah.
I bet those voices sound pretty weird, huh, Nora?
Yeah, your voices are really high, Glenn.
I know. I can't.
No, but like with this in, it's really high.
Oh, okay. I'll be quiet then.
It's okay. And she pats him on the shoulder. Jesus Christ.
Saddest boy alive.
And she's gonna press another. Is there another button to press? Iquin?
Sorry, what?
Is there another button to press?
The ejector seat button.
Yeah, there are more buttons to press. Do you want to press another one?
Yeah. Self-destruct button.
10, 9. Now, you get
Have a nice day. Thank you.
You get back to the radio station and you hear, "Oh, welcome back to 93.7 WGVK."
Changes it.
Maybe Glenn should sneak up there and peek in the door.
Yeah, we did. You were like invisible, dude.
Wait. I sorry, I forgot. I got distracted. So I think we have two options, right? All the cables are running in here. What we could do is chop the cables or turn them off or unplug them, and that'll do something, and that'll make the people inside come outside, and then we can sneak in. is one option. The other option is go home. The third option is we just kick the door in.
Kick the door in. And also, won't pulling the cables kill Sam?
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I
Maybe.
think we go in.
Well, how about we look first? Remember, we're supposed to, just like last time, we can't just run in because then we almost all died that last time. Remember, we're supposed to investigate first. You don't have to raise your hand, Glenn.
Dee and I weren't here last time.
What?
We weren't here.
Dee and I weren't here last time.
So you should have run faster. That was the problem. Glenn,
No.
can you run up there and be sneaky?
Oh, wait, I have another idea. I have, it's like the first one, but different and doesn't kill anybody. What if... Fucking goddamn.
Sorry.
What if we open the van's door and we figure out a way to make the horn go when we're not there?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
And then they come out and then we run in
Dee
and
Dee's
then we
opening
lock the door. Great.
And she goes over, Dee Dee, do you know how to hotwire a car? Do you know
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
The
All the
confidence
time.
of an 11-year-old.
What? Okay, that's really cool. Like,
Is the door open? Is it unlocked?
And do you try the door?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she already...
Yeah,
tried
it's
it.
completely unlocked. Of course, who would lock a door in the middle of the
Yeah.
woods?
Yeah, okay. So she's in there and she's already in the front seat and she is starting to try to turn... Is there keys, by the way? Is there keys?
No,
on the door?
there are no keys. Like, you
no,
know,
they're
by,
in the
by,
Yep.
sun visor.
by reflex, they have taken the keys out. There are no keys in the fold down.
That's okay.
These people
It's-
are actually a bit better than that.
It's the 80s. It's the 80s, and horns aren't electric; they're mechanical. So you don't need
Yep.
to start the car to use the horn.
No, but Didi, do you want to go for the horn or do you want to hotwire this car?
Oh,
I
that's
will
true.
definitely allow you to try to hotwire the car.
So, sorry, the options are either make the horn go, which will just work, or hotwire the car.
And you need to tinker to hotwire the car. Or do a third option that you pitched to me.
No, God, those are both great. Can she do both? She's gonna first hit the
Oh, definitely.
horn,
You can
We're not
definitely
ready
do
yet.
both.
and then she's gonna start hotwiring the car.
We're
Roll
not
me a
ready yet.
tinker. Roll me a tinker.
No.
Here we
This
go.
is a perfect Dungeons and
This is-
Dragons party.
Yep.
Leroy
I was
Jenkins.
literally just gonna say.
3 successes. Yes.
So,
Oh my God.
What a time!
okay. I am for the 3 successes. I'm also gonna throw in the corruption bar here that is gonna happen.
Oh,
Great.
Okay.
You, in a very knowingly way, it takes you less than a second to just rip the undercarriage of the steering wheel, the plastic away, exposing the cables. You look under there, it's like, oh, right, here's the blue, here's the red. Boom. You manage to get it started. You just slam that horn, and as you also like, wait, that's stupid. You just take this other cable and you put it to the mix, and the horn just goes continuously now. That kind of like, you're like happy, and you gonna jump out, having the car, everything running. You manage to put it in gear, and it goes.
And she's like,
And it doesn't
standing-
take Does it take
Unfortunately-
the trailer?
Yes, because the trailer
Oh.
was hitched to it. That's why I used my corruption bar, because you had such a super success with this.
Nora's
So you
standing
managed to
at the thing with her
hotwire, get the car to
multi-tool.
drive. Everything just sort of kicks into gear somehow, because you're so good at what you do. You managed to get this car just off going while jumping out of it. So I'll give you a chance. Do you want to still jump out as you were aiming to do, or do you want to be in the vehicle as it starts to move?
No, she's gonna totally jump out, and in her mind,
yeah.
she's got like one of those
Definitely.
like TV moments when she's like in midair, and there's like a musical inflection, like horns going, and
it looks
she's
cool
like-
as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Slow
looks cool as
motion.
hell.
Yeah.
It looks cool as hell, as an 11-year-old jumping out of a moving vehicle can look while its horn is blasting.
John Woo doves for no reason. Out of nowhere.
Consequently, the cables stretch, and you hear something like into the wall of the shack before the cable sort of rips out from the trailer and goes down flat, and the car just goes, and you hear from inside like running footsteps. The door just slams open, and there's the same two guys from your dreams there. They have overalls. They are kind of big, burly, muscular men. And one has both his ear with those mechanical things. One has one in his ear, the one other ear, the same ear as you have, Nora, is missing. And they sort of slam the door open, comes out and like, what is going on? And what do you guys want to do? You were kind of behind the trailer that is now over there, quickly driving away.
Well, Dee Dee, before anything else says, I meant to do that.
Okay, so this has already happened.
Super successfully hotwire that car like it was no one's business, and then I wanted to use my corruption bar to have it move away from more drama.
And the cables are disconnected from the trailer.
They are correct.
Okay.
Something smashed into the wall, and then the cables disconnected.
Okay.
Is there anywhere that we could be hiding or anything? Are we just like right out in the open? There's not a bush or something we can dive behind?
You are currently out in the open. I will give you a chance with a stealth or a move, either if you want to try to just drop into something or move away from where you're standing.
Nora would have chased after the trailer, so she would be
move
right
then.
by it. Yeah.
You don't get to hide, but you get to run after the trailer. Glenn, what do you want to do?
Glenn is going to try to become one with the snow.
Okay.
Because you figure he's about
Batman.
an inch around anyway, so he should be able to hide in the snow.
Go for the stealth.
Nope.
No. Dee Dee, what you want to do?
She says, zoom, and she follows Nora.
Okay, move. You outpace both Nora and the truck. Oh, wow. This 11-year-old is like sitting down.
Holy shit.
Oh, you really are Hammy the squirrel.
The truck is doing something like 5-7 miles per hour, and Dee is just. Corey, before successes, I'm just gonna give it to. She's like Usain Bolt got nothing on Dee Dee.
We don't even know where Dee Dee is.
Jesus.
Corey, what do you want to do?
Corey panics. Corey absolutely panics. Everyone around him disappears, and he doesn't go on dungeons. He makes them. He looks in the most like innocent, doughy-eyed way that a 13-year-old boy can look. He's cold. He's not dressed for this weather. He looks exhausted because it's the middle of the night. And he just looks at the two guys coming out of the shack. And I'm gonna give you a charm roll here. And he says, "I think I got lost."
Okay, give me a charm roll.
Meanwhile,
yes.
So Glenn, by the way, has sat down next to Corey, Indian style, and has just put his.
Yep.
That's how he was attempting to hide.
Right. So the guys come out. They're like panicking as well. And they're like, what is going on? And they see Corey sort of, I'm lost. Glenn just sitting down hungry. And then the two girls like running away. And they look to each other and like the guy with both his earpieces like, grab the kids. I'm going to grab the truck. And he just starts sprint after both Nora and Dee Dee to try to catch up with the truck. Then the other guy sort of looks back to you guys and is like, what are you kids doing here? Get in! And he sort of comes to try to grab both of you to pull you inside the shack. Are you going to resist or are you going to follow with him?
Corey
seems to be more. It doesn't seem to be like aggressive. He's more, like he got startled and he doesn't know what to do with you. So your charm seems to have gotten through, as in he doesn't think you're there for malice. He just thinks that the fuck is going on. There are kids here. I need to get them inside.
Yeah. Corey absolutely goes inside. That was his plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Glenn knows better than to try to fight back against someone who is larger than him.
Yeah, he's about 3 times your size.
Yeah. Glenn is small even for an 11-year-old.
So the man, I'll get back to Dee Dee and Nora in a moment. The man brings you back inside, and as soon as he makes it over the threshold, both Corey and Glenn hears,
system operational, fully charged.
and the guy sort of just stops, becomes pale white, and doesn't move anymore. And you can see inside on the floor lies Sam. His eyes shining blue, and then as he says that, they morph over to his like normal, at least Corey for you, normal yellow glow. And as soon as he said that, you see that the guy who only wears one earpiece freezes, like time stops, but only for him.
Does he let go of us?
No, he just freezes. So he has your like shirts or jackets or whatever, like one in one hand, and he has grabbed them, but he doesn't move or do anything. He just stands there like a statue.
Okay. Glenn wriggles his way out of his hoodie.
Yep. Yeah, you do so without issue.
So
You're free.
He is now wearing a long sleeve button down red and white flannel pajama top.
Excellent. Corey, how do you want to get out of the grip of the adult holding your jacket?
I think Corey also, like, he doesn't freeze, but like he wasn't ready for someone else to freeze. So he's still like looking around, and I don't think he realizes it immediately that like the person's not just holding him but has frozen. So he stays there and is quickly trying to assess the dungeon, as it were. Can I look around and see what else there is here? What looks like a dungeon master could plan something in here is basically.
So the inside looks very different from the outside. You immediately, being a dungeon master, recognize a false exterior. The shack-like appearance is made to look like shitty and shabby. The inside is highly technical. All the like walls are like having lights inside them. It's like you look at the side of computers, but they are walls. The floor is of that, metal with the pattern on it, the anti-slip metal flooring that you have. Don't know what it's called in English, but that kind of like grippable to move around on. There are like a set of chairs and a small little table looking normal, but then there's also like machinery and equipment. You see what looked like a place where Sam probably was docked into several machines, cables coming up to him. The machines also seem to have had wires plug into him. All of that has been ripped since the trailer just forced him out of that like docking station, slamming into the wall. So you see light to the left of you where you enter. There is like a denture in the wall where Sam is like smacked in, and Sam lying on his back next to it down on the floor. Cable still going outside after the trailer. On the other side inside there you have something that looks kind of like Star Trek command center kind of buttonly things attached to the floor. There are several like lights blinking. There's some like red ones that just goes off in here right now. There's not as much sound as you would expect. In all the movies there blaring sounds like nah, nah, none of that, but there's a lot of lights flashing everywhere, blinking hysterically. There are several keyboards attached to this console-looking thing and some monitors as well. They look weird to you because they don't have a backside. You just you look at them and you can see things like in plain air, just like holograms in the air that shows you information. This is super technical. You have no idea what any of the things shown on the screens mean. It could be Greek to you. It doesn't really matter. But they are diagrams, they are like text just furiously rolling by. So your immediate sense is that this is some kind of control center that tried to interface with Sam, and when he got ripped out of it, all the alarms just went off from this console.
Cool. And we don't hear any weird noise other than the fact that it's like quieter than normal in here?
It's way quieter than normal. It's, machinery usually have fans that cools them. None of those sounds in here.
Yeah, Corey doesn't have a shirt to slip out of. So he's sort of here in this moment. But he sees Glenn like wriggle out of his hoodie, and he like points to the other guy, the one not holding him, and then he points to his ears, and then he makes like a punch to Glenn.
Well, the other guy ran
oh,
off.
oh, shit! It's just this guy. Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, so
then
the one guy brought you in, the one guy is following
got it,
Nora
got
and
it.
Didi.
Then in that case, Corey reaches up and he pulls the other earpiece out of this guy.
Yeah, no visible reaction at all. It seems like one earpiece was enough because she's still frozen. The earpiece shown like a steady blue, and when you put it out, it sort of notice it somehow, so it starts to have that flash every 20 seconds instead.
He looks to Glenn and says, "Okay, if I turn into an evil monster or a mad wizard, just take this out, okay?"
Okay.
Great. And he, at the same time, he plugs his one ear and then puts the device in the other ear.
You get the sensation that Nora had while she was playing with the buttons. You have the let through mode, so you can hear everything around you, but it's that slightly higher pitched noise. And Glenn, you would also see that it stops blinking and goes back to that steady blue shine when he puts it in the air. So you can sort of hear everything around you as almost normal, but slightly higher pitched.
Corey, it's all blue again.
And Glenn is going to go over to the monitors and see if he can make sense of anything that is scrolling past from the monitors.
You need to roll me a program with 2 successes to get something out of this. This is super highly technical.
All right. I am going to be... So, actually, well, okay. I forget. If I roll and get 1 success, can I use my pride to get the second one after the roll?
I want to remember that you can. I don't remember if you have to put...
I don't think there's any roll against that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I am going to be fiddling with my Rubik's Cube, which is my iconic item, as I do this.
So it gives you +2.
Yep, you said program?
Yep.
Okay.
This is, but if you want to disassemble the machinery, that would be Tinker. This is programming, and you
I
get
don't
the
even
2
need
successes.
my pride.
Nice.
This is highly technical. You don't like get a detailed understanding, but from 2 successes, looking at the charts, looking at all the things that are happening, this is some kind of diagnostic board, and it's going bananas because the subject that it was diagnosing suddenly got ripped out of the sockets. So it's just alarms blaring. It's sort of, you know, if you unplug someone who's on those medical machines, they just start to blare sound alarms. This is kind of what happens, but silent alarms. That the diagnosis is like, your subject is dead. Your subject is dead. It kind of.
Can I? So, do I see any of the connections that Sam was connected to, and can I possibly get them over to Sam, or is it too far away?
It's too far away. What you would need to do is get Sam over to that docking station and replug him. You can, since he was sort of ripped out, you can see that some connectors are damaged. Some are, from what you could guess, not knowing anything about like Sam diagnostics. You could say that at least the plug probably still fits. You can see, the holes and the plugs are in a way that it's easy to see which one goes where. But the cords are not like 10, 15 feet long. They are like a couple of feet from the machine. So Sam needs to go back into the docking station area.
So I will go around and I will poke Sam on the shoulder.
Sam is actually responsive.
Hello, my name is Sam. Have we met?
I think so. I'm Glenn. You were in my dream tonight.
What happens
Oh.
If we plug you back into the things?
You got my message. Very nice of you to come. Are you part of my D&D group?
Yeah, I'm the spellcaster.
I am Sam.
I am Glenn.
Error 417. Error. I am sorry. There seems to be a malfunction, and my power reserves are dropping rapidly. I need more power.
Well, okay. What is one of those over there? And I point back to where all the connections were. Is can you get power over there?
Unfortunately, that is just the diagnostic device that the men try to use to unveil my secrets. I do not wish to tell them my secrets. Could you please connect this wire into an energy generator on the other end?
And he sort of motions the cables that comes out from like his bottom torso part sort of flaps up once, indicating that that's the kinds he's talking about. And you would know that those are the cables that were plugged into what looks like a huge generator.
That is now driving away with
That is now driving away.
Yeah. I think your power went that way. Sorry.
That is a problem. 80% power remaining.
Okay. Sam, enter standby mode.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I cannot enter standby. Error 470 mode. Unfortunately, the damage is substantial.
What's an error 47T?
I do not know.
Eichwin, are there like manuals, like tech manuals or
Nope.
paperwork or
There's
notes?
no paper. Nope. Everything's in the computer. I'm going to transition back from this over to Didi and Nora. So we're going to rewind time a little bit, and the two guys come out. You two set off the van. You hear behind you, you get the kids, I get the van, and you can hear someone running behind you. Didi, you are gaining on the truck. Nora, you are not.
I thought you said the truck ran into the house.
No, it ran away. It was parked like, here's the house, here's the truck. So it's like,
okay.
So with a 4, Eichwin, do you think that my vision for this is that Didi catches up with the truck, opens the door, and hops in?
I would allow that with a 4.
And then she's going to slow it a bit and try to pull Nora in.
Yeah. With that help,
if Nora is willing. I don't know what Nora's up to.
So Nora, do you want to be dragged into the truck with Didi, or do you have a separate plan? Because I would allow that. With a 4 move, you catch up and you can slow the truck down sufficiently to make Nora catch up to it. It sort of drives along the road. It's a straight road. So far, it's just, have been continuing.
I did have a plan, but I was under the impression the truck had hit the house.
So no, sorry. It's parked next to the house. So just drove off.
Yeah, I guess she has to get in the truck, otherwise she's just gonna get left behind. So yeah.
So both of you get into the truck. It's still blaring its horn, driving away. Now,
can you turn that off? She shouts over the horn.
And she says, "No, I'm too busy driving." And she's gonna, once Nora's in the car, she's going to pick up speed a little bit with the intention of having this guy chase them further down the road.
Where are we going? We can't abandon our party. Turn it around.
We're just gonna, don't worry, we'll just jump out in a minute. He won't see, don't worry. And
jump out.
So the goal, Eichwin, is to get a little bit down the road with this guy chasing, and then open the door on the other side, maybe. And
yeah, sure, if you want to.
And hopefully he won't. Does he see on that side? Because this is my vision. He doesn't see the other side.
Let's say no. Let's say you are in control of the vehicle. You can, it's a steering wheel. Didi is smart. You know how to operate a vehicle. Basically, turning the wheel turns the vehicle, and such. You can position it in a way that it will drive off the road, but if you do it fast enough, you can jump out and have the vehicle obscure you from view.
So that's what she's going to propose to Nora, maybe not in so many words. So she starts to go into the motions of doing this, and then begins to pull Nora out the other side, if Nora's willing to come.
I'm just thinking about that generator and the cables that were violently ripped out of it.
Yep.
Dee Dee doesn't know what that means, so I would do something else, but that would be too much meta knowledge, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what she would do.
Do you
Is that guy
do you want to
taking-
have Nora? Do you want to have Nora tell Dee Dee to do something else?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
So,
Well, she would say turn it around and head it back to the house.
so actually, I could. So the next thing that Glenn was going to do was get out the walkie-talkie and try to
There we go.
raise the girls. Could we say that happens now?
Sure.
Okay.
You girls hear a voice coming out on the walkie-talkie. Go, Glenn.
We need the truck back. Sam needs power.
What?
Sam,
Brr.
Sam needs power. Bring the truck back.
Turn the car around.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the terrain here that we're looking at? Like, we're on a road right now. Is
You're
there
on
a
a
way
road.
to pull off the road?
There's a way to pull up the road. Turning the truck around will be a more like you would need a move for that because you're on a road. It goes sort of straight. It's wide enough for two cars to meet, and you do have a slightly trained vehicle. On the side of the roads are like low ditches, just to get water off the road, and then there's forest. Like pine forest kind of looking forest things. It's not super thick, but it's thick enough that it would be a huge problem to get a truck through those trees. So if you want to just get the truck off the road, easy. If you want to turn the truck around with the trailer behind it, not knowing how to drive, I would need a move from you to be able to do that. It's not. I mean, you are helped by the fact that the truck can go into the ditch somewhat and up again, since it has those special tires. Clearing.
What about not turning around but driving in reverse? I know that's difficult with a trailer on the end.
That is also a move because it's without a trailer that would have been easy, but with the trailer you need to get that from not what do you call it? We call it scissoring in Sweden when it's sort of.
Yeah, so I like that. So Nora might say reverse it, and then Dee Dee.
Nora's gonna go and she go hit a stop, and she's gonna dive down underneath her feet and hit the brake.
The vehicle immediately stops.
And then so I guess Dee Dee's gonna say, "Oh, okay," and then push Nora out of the way so that she gets off the brake. And also, you just need to picture this because Dee Dee's 11 and she's also super small for her age. So she's stretched up and she can barely see above the windshield. So then she hits it in reverse. And her intention isn't just to take this car and put it back in front of the thing, but also knock that other guy off the road. Hopefully not killing him, but
at least make him jump out of the way.
She wants to get him out of the way as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So move.
Throw it in the reverse. Start reversing it, and I can have both of you roll me moves since you kind of both are in on this, trying to help each other.
I would help her,
and I will pool the successes for the grand total of this.
So she's also going to straighten her goggles and use her racing goggles for this role.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yes, definitely. You go.
I'm gonna spend my last luck to re-roll. Oopsie, okay. I hit the wrong one. Sorry.
That's fine.
3 successes.
Apparently,
total.
Getting the trailer from jackknifing is the term in English. Anyhow. 3 successes in total. Like I said, I will pool all your successes. That is more than enough to get in. You at first are kind of unsure what to do. So the trailer sort of starts to snake a bit over the road. And it just so happens that the guy comes running and he's like, oh shit, and dives out of the way.
And it's just a lot of girls high-pitched
screaming.
Yeah. Since no one so far told me that they turned off the horn, it's like...
Yeah, and we also have the radio on, so you guys get to hear all this.
Yeah, you hear a horn blaring in the background, and then girls screaming loudly and pitchy through the walkie-talkie. That just makes everything more pitchy.
That makes sense.
The guy with 3 successes, the guy also, as you drive past him, you see that he sort of is on his side on the road, knocked out one of his earpieces, and he just lies there like frozen in place.
No,
And you
actually,
like you don't drive, you drive past him, not over him. Just want to make it
Yeah,
really
good.
clear. No one
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here.
I'm assuming he like dives out of the way, but as we pass
Yeah.
him and he freezes, she leans
Yeah.
out the window and she grabs a handful of the nails and she throws them at his feet.
Yeah, a lot of nails just spreading out.
Not
of
not at
feet.
him,
Yeah,
but
no,
just
no.
at his
No,
feet.
yeah, just a bunch of nails lying there now in the snow and in the dirt. And you manage to go back. And with the 3 successes, I will say that you managed. It's not nice, and the trailers is a bit to the side when you get back to the building, but you managed to get it there and kind of parked. It's not as neat as where you found it, but it's enough. It's in the mostly correct place. You guys inside the cabin, you hear the
Getting louder and louder.
as it sort of comes back and stands outside.
Yeah.
Nora, you're rad.
Yeah.
And
After she threw the nails, you probably heard in like the din of all the noise, like magic missile or something like that. And then it's like, and she's looking at them, and she's like, "Okay, hit the brake."
Dee Dee hits the brake, and as
70%
soon
power remaining.
the moment we're stopped, Dee Dee is out of the car and through the door.
Park.
I'm sorry, Aykwen, I didn't hear you. How much power is remaining?
Aykwen, how much power?
70% power remaining.
Okay.
We're here.
Okay, so I
Dee Dee's
will,
in there saying, "We're here."
It's in stereo. That's so cool.
It's like they're right
And a blaring
here.
horn. They're right here with the horn, announcing the presence for a while now.
The girls have
It's
arrived.
like they're in here with us.
As you come in, Dee Dee, you see a robot lying to the left on the floor, yellow eyes shining up, and a huge cable coming from the lower part of his torso, going out the way you came towards the trailer part. And you also see like the whole high-tech inside of this building with all the lights, the diagnostic console, the sort of docking station area where there are cords sort of ripped as Sam was ripped out of there and smashed into the wall. And you also see the denture in the wall next to the door where Sam sort of like hit and then fell down. Nora, when you come in, you see the same thing.
Dee Dee was going to help, but now she's distracted by the pretty lights and starts wandering
course,
around
Nora.
and starts.
Yeah, and
Flipping
Lost
switches.
radio contact with Dee Dee.
Sam! And she's gonna run over and give him a hug.
Nora, I am pleased to see you. I am thoroughly error 417, error 417.
We gotta help him.
Function.
What do we do? We brought it back.
50% battery
we have to power him up.
remaining.
The power cord goes out that way.
Okay, she's gonna run. I'm assuming this cable is extremely heavy.
Do you try to lift it?
Yeah.
It's actually way lighter than you expect it to be. You can lift it without much issue.
That doesn't seem right. This thing should be like this thing should be incredibly heavy. Is she
That's-
able to hook it back
It's
up?
fiber
Take
optic.
the win.
What's fiber optics? Does that exist? I don't know.
So anyone else trying to help with the cable or Sam or anything? What are people doing? Let's take a round. Corey, what are you doing?
Once they're back and the stereo of We're Here stops, he would also be helping to pull cables because we don't know
Okay.
what cables or how many that need to get plugged in.
Yep. Glenn, what are you doing?
I am going to stay inside and basically serve as the with the walkie-talkie. Okay, you tell me which cord you've got, and I'll tell you where it goes in him.
Okay.
Okay.
And Dee
Dee
What are
Dee
you
is
doing?
Dee Dee looks from the outside like she's frenetically kind of pushing any button and flicking any switch, but she's actually tinkering. She's just moves at a faster pace than everybody else. So she is trying to figure out what the equipment does.
roll me a tinker.
2 successes.
Well, pressing some buttons and back and forward, you figure out that one, you need to connect the robot to the cords, otherwise the device will tell you nothing. It's just now in like panic mode, your subject is dead. And the second part you figure out is that this console is also like on emergency battery right now, and it's also soon to die unless it gets powered. And you figure out that it probably draws power the same way that Sam does from the trailer.
Hey, we need power for the console too. Is there a cord associated with the console?
Not as such. All the cords you see are either going to Sam or going from Sam into the diagnostics, like docking station part.
Would Dee Dee presume that the console is drawing power from Sam, which is drawing power from the generator?
I would say if you think Dee Dee would make that connection, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, there is like this, very 80s LED bar that sort of blips down, and you can see that it's already halfway down. That you, Dee Dee, would assume, or like you kind of, by flipping things, figure out that this is probably the energy meter showing how much more energy the console has before it has to shut down.
So is the console the diagnostic machine, or are there multiple machines in here?
There are multiple machines. There's the console where it's like the human interface, buttons and lights and those holographic screens that shows information just spitting around. And then there's the second part that looks more like a docking station where you can sort of put Sam and connect him with wires.
Got it. And right now, Sam is connected to the diagnostic machine, not to the console.
Sam is not connected at all. He got ripped out of the docking station and slammed into the wall as the huge cable that connects from the trailer into him pulled him out of it and slammed him into the wall, and then he's lying there on the floor right now.
All right. Then Dee Dee's intuition is that she needs to connect Sam to the console as well while they're connecting Sam to the power. So she's going to look for a cable and a way to do that.
There are multiple cables. They are not far enough to reach Sam. Sam needs to go into the docking station. The cables are like a feet at most. They are made to make, short connections to whatever is in the docking station.
Is the docking station connected to the console in some way already?
Not that you see. You don't know how this works, but there's like a super many high-tech things around here.
Got it.
You presume that it's connected somehow.
All right. She's going to pull her 50-foot cable out of her backpack. And she will connect logically. Maybe we can roll for this. Logically, she'll either connect Sam directly to the console, or she will connect it to the docking station where I presume we're trying to put Sam. Is that correct?
Well, you want to connect Sam. Like you would understand that to be able to interface with Sam, you need to have the console. But Sam looks like he only connects to the docking station.
All right, so she will plug the docking station.
Problem.
So she will connect the docking station to the console while they are connecting power to Sam. And then I guess we will figure out how to get him connected to the docking station next.
Is anyone helping Dee Dee with this part? Or are all of you on big cable trailer duty?
Glenn is inside still, I think.
Glenn will come over and help Dee Dee, but still have the walkie-talkie around in case she needs.
Yep. So both of you can roll me tinkers to be able to sort of get your pulled out wire and try to patch that wire into the docking station and also into Sam. And I will pool your successes as well. Oh, that actually was really nice. Yeah, it takes you a while, especially since Glenn is sort of on radio duty at the same time. But you managed to sort of patch the cabling in as best as you understand how into Sam, who doesn't really seem to know where anything goes anyway. So he just mostly lies there, not having any arms because those were cables that was disconnected from the radio station. People on the big cable duty, you notice everyone who tries to pick up the cable that is way lighter than you expect it to be. I mean, it's still weighing something. It's just much less than you would get the impression from. And you can also roll me tinkers, and I will pool your successes to try to connect back the different cables into the trailer from where it was sort of ripped out.
3 successes.
Wow.
Woohoo!
With the help of Glenn, radioing back, connecting things back and forward, you ask him like, oh, where does the thick blue one goes? And Glenn's like, yeah, that goes like fourth from the right side near the middle. And you're like, okay, fourth from the right and in the middle. You connect that one, and it seems to start slowly power up Sam as he lies inside. And as you both teams sort of finish at the same time, Sam sort of, his eyes glows up brighter, and you can hear him.
Energy circuit restored. Connection to device. Diagnostics running.
And I think we'll just end it there. Sam, having control of the situation, he keeps the two persons, as they can't lock out his message anymore, he keeps them frozen. You diagnose the problem with Sam. He managed to restructure his programming with the help of you kids who can do programming and tinker. It takes a while, but you don't really have a rush. It's the middle of the night. You have a couple of hours before someone will miss you. And then you manage to get Sam recharged enough that you calculate with Sam's help that you can bring him back to the radio station on your bikes. You also discover in this process that Sam is much lighter than you expected him to be. He can comfortably be like tied with the extra cables that Didi took to one of you, and then just ride like a backpack on the way back. Once you're back in the radio station, he gets reconnected. He thanks you a lot, and he wishes you all a very pleasant continuation of your lives. And as usual, just call into the radio station and give your names, and he will make sure that your favorite song will be played at the next one, as the next one.
And Nora turns to everybody, like smiles, like, we're gonna get so much XP from this.
See, I told you we needed everything we brought.
Yeah, and then I threw the nails, and the guy was like, "Oh," he was stunned when he saw the nails. He was like, "I can't go forward. I'm gonna hit the caltrops." Yeah.
Hey.
And I think
Yes.
I think when the camera pulls out, Didi has shouted, "Group high five!" and they're all jumping into the air and group high fiving.
Yes.
That's an excellent part to end on.
Pause.
Please, Mike, take it away for the outro reflections.
Yeah. What a show. This went places. I like the idea of warping your Glenbrook Tales from a Loop campaigns into a pseudo D&D campaign, which is very funny. So let's go around. Oh, wait, that's not how this goes. If you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel just like these fine folks you see before you, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon. A reminder that currently there's a 7-day free trial at the $5 tier. I know that's a little complicated, but at that tier, you get access to all of the after shows for this show, the next show, all of the other shows we've done for the past 3 years.
Worth it.
So you can get that for 7 days, and then join us there permanently, forever and ever. Or else. And while you're down there in the description, clicking on that link, click on the Discord link, join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation, talk about all these games, your love of other things, food, video games, movies, etc. And that's all. So let's go around, do our introductions so we can get the hell out of here and do the after show that, again, you can access over on our Patreon. We will start with our illustrious game master, Iquin. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Well, thank you. I am mostly in the Discord. You can always check out the unMadeGaming Discord. I am running the Mastodon server. So if you're looking for an alternative to Twitter, just come join us over there as well. It's really fun. And usually you can find me in Looking for Group, where I run off-camera games whenever I feel like it, which is mostly including killing Drathir. But I'm trying to stop. I mean, I have a program. I'm working the steps to not kill her character every time. But that's me.
Great. Perfect. Speaking of getting killed by Iquin, Melissa, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi, everyone. I am Drathir. You can find me in unMadeGaming stuff. So find me there and join the Patreon and watch the games and participate in the Discord and be awesome. I am presently super grateful that my character lived. And I think this is like only the second out of like 6 games with Iquin that happened. So that's pretty good.
That's a record. That's a record.
Yeah.
When I literally can't kill your character.
Yeah.
She tried. She tried throwing herself out of a moving vehicle.
Tried.
But you're at this moment, Melissa, you're in good company because 3 out of the 4 players have been killed by Iquin. In his games. So also in the Killed by Iquin Club, G, who are you, or can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Well, technically, it was Snow Dogs who killed me, but I'm not.
But it was Iquin's fault.
I'm not holding on to anything in that regards at all. But I'm your friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You can find me in the Discord. You'll find me modding, and you'll find me all things Patreon. We do have another Patreon game next weekend because June is being rescheduled, so we're switching it up a little bit. So we'll have one shot next Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, get in on that Discord because, or not Discord, Discord, but also the Patreon, because like those after shows are worth it, especially if you like Void, Atari Twilight, Alien, the Cyberpunk game, basically any game that they've ran since 2020, all the after shows in there. It's really good content, and the after shows are good bang for your buck. So get in on that 7-day trial and give it a shot. And yeah, that's me.
It's very awkward when people promote your content in front of you.
And you're like,
I go,
"Where?"
yeah, I agree. Cool.
Yeah, you can do that.
Much appreciated. Last but not least, Trevor, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to? And also, please promote your own things.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Trevor, aka the Vitruvian Meeple. You can find me here for the Patreon one-shots, obviously on Mike's Discord. You can find me in the Cypher Unlimited Discord, the Cypher Foundry VTT Discord. You can also find me over on my own channel, Vitruvian Meeple, which does not have a Discord yet, where we play The Powers That Be, which is a Claim the Sky Cypher System Supers campaign. Yeah, check us out. And, echoing G, come support everything that Mike and this community do, because it's all just absolutely phenomenal.
And one more thing I'll add. Also, a little bit off our normal scheduling for all of our unMadeGaming stuff is next Sunday is the next episode of Atari Twilight Age of Always. So
that's
and don't we have another game right after this one? So
yes.
Game right after this
header.
one. Saturday another one. Sunday another one.
Yes. That being said, stick around. We have plenty of content coming up today, the rest of the week. So come hang out for that. This is the first time I'm publicly reminding everybody. Thanks to the Discord that was mentioned before, I was reminded we have a merch store. So if you guys want cool merch, we have merch for Void, we have merch for Atari Twilight, we have merch for unMadeGaming in general. The link is down below in either the description or if you're on Twitch in the sub panels below there. Or go to unmadegaming.tv/merch. But that's it from us. So if you want to stick around for the next one shot, we are coming back with some Vesson. We'll be back in. That's a while. We'll be back in some time. It's sometime between 3:30 and 4. So stick around. We'll jump back in. But that's it from us for now. So we'll see you guys next time. From Almost to You. Bye.
bye.